Alright boys, let's start the part 1 of the patch 2.5 with good intentions. Let's go! I am most eager to address the Asian threat, however we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. To think that the solution to the primal threat was once the sole priority of the science of the Seventh Dawn, some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Lest you forget antecedent, the science need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems, however, we all have the resources we need to address them in turn. Ryusei in particular is ever a steadying hand. It's that ever-steadying hand, who I trust will continue to support the Braves. Yeah. To what we owe that pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Yuda? As expected, Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Galen agent. Suffice to say, Delege and his motorists ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation on their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Raban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and the issues affecting orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it will be for the best that I will remain real Da, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Moonbreeder research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me, though I am not familiar with the details. Oriander is poring over his tomes at the waking sense, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it's only a matter of time. Ryusei, while we focus on the task, mayhap you could assist Alphino and his braves with theirs. It would do so much to restore the faith in the Immortal Flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Sure. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations that I must attend before my departure, such as receiving Royal's latest report. He has proved to be quite skilled at gathering information. Others wished kept secret, hence why I place him under my direct command and order him to investigate the Udon's riot. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I might soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments in our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. Alright. Sounds like a plan. So, we're supposed to have 8 quests in this first half of the patch. I think this is the only patch that has a division from part 1 and 2, so pleasure as always, Ryusei. You'll be scoring the commander to Uda, I take it. Why don't just use the Aetheryte? Actually, I had another task in mind for him. If you would be so kind as to repeat your report for his benefit. Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries to the source of the weapons that found their ways into refugee hands a ways back. So happens we caught wind of something promising. A rather large purchase of sharp and pointed things by a black marketeer holed up near High Bridge. I doubt that his men would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting, clients that for whatever reason would prefer it for his transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind that merchant that caught an hour while talking to Ryusei, don't it? Generous fellow he was, doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind. But if you want to be sure, it might be prudent to intervene before we collect our goods, eh, Savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Rusey? Yes? Then it's settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Hyde Bridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you'd excuse me, I must leave for Utah. I expect good tidings. High Bridge means that is in... Is this Eastern? Eastern. It is Eastern. I'm pretty sure it is Eastern. If it is not Eastern, my name is not Bon Blanc. Hey, Hubert. Ah, Rusey, my scouts have been keeping close eye to the black marketeer, and it would seem that his guess is right. It would seem that he's hired more than a few men to stand guard. Common thugs of no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath a man of your standing. Commander Levailleur didn't have dispatched your Hitler. But powerful men never have need of loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one we knew, it is only natural that he would come to rely upon you without hesitation. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.